Yeah, no, you have to do a lot of research. The trick I find is that I often feel like it's not work, even though it is work. I suppose, but yeah. So I always have this feeling like, yeah, that's right. I have this feeling, I didn't get anything done. I just spent the day
surfing the web.
Yeah. Which, I'm sure lots of people like that'd be a dream job.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, there's a lot going on, so you sort of have to spend a lot of time just checking it all out.
Yeah, see what competitors doing, see what look for potential ideas or new markets or new, and you have to keep your finger on the pulse of where things are going, so that you're there when it gets there.
That's right. So, because of course now you're a bigger organisation, you've got to be able to determine the time and everything.
Yeah.
Do you have any favourite sites that kind of that tip you off for things? Any sort of major sites you like to keep going back to?
I constantly go to a site called TechCrunch, which I think is pretty famous. That's pretty much the only blog I actually consistently read. Just because it covers all these companies, and I'm always fascinated to see what different companies are doing, and sometimes obviously it's in our own space, or otherwise just to see where things seem to be moving, what kinds of things are interesting. So, when they're always covering Twitter, and after a while, I guess Twitter is going somewhere better. You better start tweeting.
So you do a bit of Twittering. I see you popping up there every now and then. Yeah. Got a few followers too.
Yeah, it's quite nice to, because running a blog, I guess everyone wants to express themselves somehow, and so at first I thought, blogging is the way to go, but in practice, it's quite time consuming.
A lot of work,
yeah, and after a while, at least I have this sort of quality thing, I can't just post any old thing there, and so I don't wind up posting for a long time. Whereas Twitter, I feel like, just say whatever. Look at this, do that. But no, it's good. I like Twitter.
So what's the structure of your company? Is it a company? Incorporated PTY Ltd?
It's a company,
Yeah. And it's a family business, pretty much. And the core of it.
Strangely. That kind of happened a bit by accident. There's sort of 4 co-founders. There's myself and my wife Cyan, and my best friend Jin, and my big brother Vahid. So it's a little bit weird. I don't know how that happened. I guess you want to work with people you trust, and
it's probably the best thing. Is it working on both the business and the personal side? Are you finding it's easy to work with each other?
I think the reason it works is we all have sort of different strengths and different things we like to do. So I don't think any of the other 3 really want to sit around writing blog posts, for example. So I don't think any of them are like, man, Collis gets to do all the blog posts. I wish I was doing blog posts. So that's pretty good. Cyan is really good at project management, which is good, and Vahid's got a real eye for detail, so he does a lot of the accounting and sort of external businessy type things. And Jin is just fantastic with money, which is good, because obviously you need someone who somebody needs to be keeping an eye on that.
I guess you'd be lucky in that way, because a lot of family businesses could end up with a lot of friction, a lot of tension, because they're actually, even though they're family, they might be the wrong combination of people. The hothead or the lazy one. Do you get any friction?
We've been okay, actually. I think we set a lot of expectations clearly. I think a lot of it comes down to communication. You need to be really clear. If everything's really clear, then I guess it's straightforward what's happening. Right. So you know what your expectation is, what people are expecting from you to do, and vice versa. And of course, just from a practical side, you want to have proper legal agreements about how it's all going to work. I think one thing that worked for us reasonably well is to have one person who I guess everyone defers to a bit more, which helps. Oh, that's me.
So you're the boss.
But to have, I guess, a bit of an arbiter of this is how we should go. So otherwise, you can. I guess I provide the sort of the direction, which helps a lot.
So is that what you do? I mean, do some of your ideas come from consensus sort of brainstorming?
Oh yeah,
things,
of course. It's definitely not claimed to have all the ideas, but
you've got the general gist of where you're heading. That's your vision?
The general vision comes predominantly, I suppose, from me. But of course, everyone sort of contributes to it, and we have a pretty free flow of ideas. But at the same time, you kind of need like one plan. You don't want to be, one guy's like, oh, we're going in this direction, and someone else. So I think that it sort of does come down to having roles. Like I remember where I heard this metaphor of like, it's like you're all hacking your way through the jungle, and so you need people who are hacking, and you need someone to control. Okay, well, we all need to hack in unison, and then you need somebody else to climb up the tree and go, okay, we need to go that direction. And without like one of these functions, you just like hack your way through the jungle into a wall or whatever. And if we're all up in trees pointing directions, then it's also not going to work. So you need a combination of things, and it needs to work together. And
does it ever get stressful where tempers flare and stuff? Does that ever happen? Like when things are going wrong, does everyone keep a level head and just
we do actually. We're remarkably level-headed. I can't think of any big fights or big flare-ups.
I think most people would find when they're working with other people that it might be the norm that everyone gets a bit sort of
a bit feisty.
A bit feisty.
No, we've been lucky. I mean, sometimes we get stressed. I get pretty stressed out sometimes. And science always telling me you need to work less so that you don't freak out about things. But no, we don't have that type of antagonism, which is good. Yeah,
that's excellent. You got your finger in a few pies. You're doing the tutorial sides. You're doing the media asset sides. You've written a couple of books and that sort of thing.
Yes.
How's that been?
I've co-authored 2 books now, and I've learned a lot of respect for writers because it's really hard. It's really hard to stay focused. It's kind of easy to start, and I suspect probably out there's a lot of people who've started books, and you get started and you're like, this book's going to be awesome. And I write table contents, and I've got like table contents for like 3 books ahead, and then you have to actually finish it.
Because the WordPress one, that's quite a hefty tome.
Yeah, that's right. I actually wrote that book in conjunction with a 15-year-old. Did you know?
15? Yeah. But he's a WordPress guru.
Yeah, obviously. His name's Harley Alexander, and he's from Sydney, actually. I didn't actually realise he was 15 when we first started the book until one day I met him, and I was like, this guy's really young looking.
So how did you actually get hold of him in the first place?
He actually writes tutorials for NetTut, and he'd been writing some tutorials about WordPress and was like, hey, I was thinking of writing this whole set all about WordPress theming from start to finish. And I was like, well, I'm writing a book about that. Why don't you join me in the book writing?
Oh, great.
So he did a good job. Certainly a lot more focused and bright than I was when I was 15.
What is a broad age group of all the people who are involved in Envato?
I think we're mostly in our 20s. I mean, certainly in the office, mostly in the 20s. I'm about to turn 30 in a few months, so yeah, I guess we break into the 30s.
Are you still Gen Y?
I think so. 1979. What's that?
Okay. It's borderline Gen X.
No, wait, now Gen X. Which one's the one after baby boomers?
Yeah, Gen X. But the whole organisation is pretty much a Gen Y operation.
So, and a lot of the people on our sites are quite young. I think, especially with the marketplace, the kind of people who want to sell stuff, or the people who write things. I guess it's not a bad way to earn money. I mean, I think about what I did to earn money. You can choice between working at McDonald's, or you can make Flash.
Flash and post it on the web.
Yeah, and some of those guys, some of them make more money than I do. Yeah, it's this isn't right.
There's a fair few sales going on there.
Yeah, the top author is the top authors make into the not tens, but over 10,000 a month.
Wow,
that's a lot of money, right?
That's a lot for some young Gen Y dude doing Flash. Yeah.
We had our first guy to make over 250,000 sales not so long ago.
Wow.
So I mean, he would have taken about half of that as his percentage. And then as you go up, the percentage rises, so the next 250,000 he'll make a lot more of that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-boggling. It's funny to think those sites that we started a few years ago now provide a livelihood for
these people.
Yeah, it's very strange.
And it's sort of an iStock photo kind of model, I guess. But it seems to be you're moving much more towards being more generous and more more encouraging of the community side of things, would you say?
Yeah, well, I think we feel like the community is basically what makes our sites. So